another episode of Southern Boy Farm. I'm Kelvin, and today I have gone out and made my major addition for the 2022 growing season, and that just happens to be getting myself a beehive. Now, why a beehive? Not really sure. I've never been stung, so I'm not afraid, and I've never had a major fascination with bees. I mean, I've never gone out and sat down and just, as some individuals suggest, grab a glass of wine and watch the festivities. But I do want the bees for pollination and for the honey. Well, I looked it up, and in Florida, on a quarter-acre property or smaller, you can go ahead and you can have 2 beehives on your property, as long as they are at least 15 feet away from the property line, and if not, then you need to have a 6-foot-high fence separating the properties. You get an inspection, you sign up and get your hive registered, and it costs you $10 a year to legally have your hive in your backyard. So, for $10, and if you've seen the cost of honey in the stores, and that's not even the really good honey, what do I have to lose? So, I went, took a course. It was 2 days, and then I've been doing a bunch of reading and audio books and watching videos from other people on YouTube, and all of that's been a big help, and so now is my time. Being here in South Florida, I can do beekeeping year-round. There's no winterizing involved, and that's going to make my life one step easier. However, first, you got to get all the tools, you got to get the beehive, and you got to make sure you ordered your bees early enough in either the late winter or the very beginning of the year, like January, no later than February, although I understand that there are places where you can still get them now in mid-March. But I made my orders, Amazon has delivered the stuff, and I wanted to do all of this with you. Now, I'm no expert, just like with gardening, I'm no expert, but I just share with you what I do. You get to see the good, the bad, and hopefully the not so ugly. So let's take a look. Here I've got the beehive. I've got to fully put it together. There are ones that you can buy that are put together already for you. They were going to take longer for shipping, and they cost more. And then my box of tools, utensils. So I'm going to go through all of the tools first that came in this box. This one came from Maybee, M-A-Y-B-E-E. Got it from Amazon. I'll put the link down in the description. But this one is their 22-piece box. They also had a 20-piece box that was about $20 less, and I figured for 20 bucks, let's see what else I'm going to get inside there. So you've got the brush for brushing away the bees. A nice set of leather gloves. These are size extra, extra large, so they should fit with no problem. And they have a long sleeve because the last thing you want to do is to get stung by a bee. Nice. What else we have in here? This is for, I believe, removing honey. This is for taking the cap of the honey off, nice and shiny. May end up buying another one of these just to do some catering events. It's a nice serrated edge on there. All right, they have a little plastic cap here. This is for watering. Just take a mason jar with a regular sized mouth, screw that on there. You can also use this for feeding and just set it down inside there. It goes upside down. The bees go inside there and they drink or feed whichever way you have it all set up. One of the hive tools, and this one has the J hook on the end. This is the one I've seen more people using, and the more I see people using it, the more I believe this is the one I want to use. But it's a journey. All right, so this one, because it was the 22 piece, one of the things that I know for sure is that it has the veil that comes with it. And no, not a wedding veil. It's a veil. Cute little cowboy style hat. Not as fancy or nice as my gardening hat, but you take put it on, and this keeps the bees from getting near your face and stinging you. I'm glad that this one is self-supporting and it stays up, because some of the ones that I saw in the reviews, people mentioned how it would just collapse and the bees were able to get near their face and they still got stung. So that's no good. "84 degrees out here right now. I gotta have this hat on. Now, for the queen bee, I think this is a marking tube, so you get her down in there, and then you can mark her so you can easily identify her. I believe this one is for feeding. This is I believe a queen transfer tube, but don't quote me on that. This is a frame hanger. So you set this on the side of your stand or on the side of the hive, and you can, as you take the frames out, rather than trying to just hold them all or setting them on the ground, this allows you to take and put the frame on this holder here, and everything is nice and secure and kept clean. Used for cleaning. Not sure what this is used for, but I will find out. These here are, I believe, mite catchers. We'll go over that another time. As I learn, you'll learn. Oh, wow. So, I guess the other extra tool all different size hive tools, and everybody has their own preferences, so I'm assuming eventually I'll have mine. This is to hold the queen, keep her from getting away when you're doing inspections and transfers. This is a frame lifter. Just take and hold it, clamp it up, and you're able to lift and hold the frame. And the smoker. so very iconic when it comes down to beekeeping. People instantly can recognize a hive, and they recognize a smoker, and they know you're doing some beekeeping. And it came with this air plate and a little clamp which allows you to put here on the end, and it holds it closed during storage. If you don't have it, it's not a big deal. Everything that this needs to do, it'll be able to do, but it's a nice little thing. And new, easy, convenient smoking pellets. Now, there's a whole lot of things that you can do, and I'll show you that in the video when I light the smoker for the first time. That's what that is. So this was my 22-piece beekeeping supply box. Not bad for the price. Had I had to go and buy each item individually, probably would have cost me a whole lot more. And although a lot of times in these types of kits, the items aren't always of the best quality, but at least it gets you started. And as you gain more experience and are willing to put in the additional investment, you can buy more upgraded and nicer tools that you can use and keep over the life of your beekeeping. Okay, so this is what's called, I believe it's pronounced LANGSTROTH, and he is mostly credited with being the founder of American Beehives Keeping. And this one is probably the most popular type of hive that you'll see out there. There are two others that are making their way into the market and becoming quite popular, but the one that you normally see, and I believe he created this one back in the 1850s, so it's been around a couple of days, the LANGSTROTH hive. That's what we have. So let's unpack this, because we've got to get it put together. I've got some wax-coated, preformed plastic hives, otherwise known as foundations. The side pieces for each of the frames. Those were for the medium. This is for the deep. The frame tops and bottoms. More framing pieces. Screws, nails, more screws. So I've already got the Phillips head put inside my drill. These are the plastic coated foundations for the deep hive, or the deep box. Okay, this is for the entrance of the hive. And this one's kind of chipped off, but that's okay. It'll serve its purpose. So this gives you a small little entrance to the hive, and this one gives you a much larger entrance for the bees to be able to get in and get out. The bottom board now, this one was nice. It doesn't come painted, but it comes with, it's wax coated, so it will survive a little much longer outdoors than, let's say, one that had no coating or no paint on it. I like the more natural look, so I'm going to leave it like that, and I'm glad that's how it came. So these are the panels for the medium box, okay? And these are the panels for the deep box, or the brood box. Brood box in my case, because that's what I'm going to use it for. The end pieces and their lovely logo, Bee Castle. This is the inside cover. Okay. Some of them actually come with a little gap here on the end, which allows for another entrance and exit for the bees. We may actually cut one in at a later time, but for now, I just need to do the basics so that I can get the bees into their new home. And lastly, without keeping this mountain of materials from tumbling over on me, I've got the top, okay, which comes with an aluminum piece on it, which is good, and a plastic sheet, which they call the queen excluder. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this all together, and then we'll come right back. Okay, 45 minutes later, and now I am finally all done. Thankfully, I only have to do that just once for this particular set of bees. So let's put it all together. We've got the bottom, the foundation. Next, we have the deep box. And these are the frames. This is a 10 frame hive, so there are 10 of these. And let's see. And you can kind of see the makings of what would be a honeycomb. Now, the bees will actually set up exactly the size that they need. This is just on there, and it is coated with beeswax, which is actually the controversy within the beekeeping community. But we'll talk about that another time. And each one of these had to be put together. The top, the bottom, and the two sides, and then a nail at each end. Very well put together, very sturdy, but very time consuming. This is where the queen will be, and all of the brooding will take place. Then we have the queen excluder, and like the name says, this is designed in shape so that the grooves allow the bees to come through, the worker bees, but not the queen. So she stays down below, and they'll just store honey and such up top. Then on there, we put the medium box, or the super. Well, it is a super, but it's medium sized, okay? Because this box could also be a deep box, all right? It too has 10, but they're smaller. And this primarily for my hive will be where the bees will store away the extra honey that I will then later take and enjoy. That will be the fruits of my labor. On top of that, we have the inside top. Okay, there's two sides. It may not look like it, but one is actually deeper than the other. We want to put the one that's more shallow right there on the top. And when you're putting together the hive, you want to make sure that all of the edges are lined up. Lastly, we have what's called the telescoping top. It has an aluminum top called flashing, just like in a house. And it's telescoping, meaning that it overextends the hive and allows for rain to come down and just drip off of the sides. Lastly is the entrance. So I could take it and I could put it like this, and that would give me a wide entrance, or take and put it like that, and that will give me a more narrow entrance. Okay, and that's it. So, oh, wait a minute. Did I tell you? My bees are already here. The problem is I didn't have the hive. Now I have the tools, I have the hive, but I don't have a jacket or the suit. And actually I went with a full body suit because while I have a pretty good tolerance to pain, I have no desire to start getting bit at this time or as much. Okay, so I'm going to take you over now so you can see the girls. All right, so these are my girls. That's the nuke, which is the short for nucleus box, and this is what I got my bees in. So there you have it, all of the bees neatly inside their nuke, and essentially what this is a mini beehive. In there are the same type of frames that we made over there, and the bees have been living in here for a while, so it's already started up as a hive. And since I brought them home yesterday and I popped open the front there, they have actually been surveying the neighborhood, going about, flying around, looking for food sources and the like. So the only thing I need to do now is to go ahead and when my suit arrives, break out the smoker and the other tools and transfer these frames into that hive that I built. And I'm going to place the hive right here so that the bees don't have to figure out exactly where their new location is. They'll basically be coming back to the exact same location that I started them out in, which is right here underneath the banana trees. So it'll give them a little bit of cooling shade in the afternoons when the temperatures can reach mid-90s in the next couple of months. All right, so that's it for now. When the suit comes, I'll show you that and we'll get the transfer done and we'll continue on this journey of my first year as a beekeeper. All right, until then, I love you guys. You've made this channel. It's been a year, and all of your subscribers, thank you. Thank you so very much. Okay, so love yourself, love everybody around you. Costs you nothing, and it'll mean so much. All right, give us a thumbs up, thumbs down, God bless America, I don't mind which one. And until the next time, be well, bye.